How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Cinemaholic Productions. I'm in a room with Ryan right now, as we established in our Best of 2016 video. My name is Spencer Henderson, and I am a cinemaholic.
I'm Ryan, and I am a cinemaholic.
And today we are going to be talking about the new M. Night Shyamalan movie. Everybody's most anticipated movie of the year because, as everybody knows, M. Night Shyamalan doesn't know how to make a bad movie. I mean, the guy exploded onto the scene with The Sixth Sense back in 1999, and since then he's been gracing our presence with amazing movies that always have great twists in them. Alright, obviously I'm joking. He has had a couple misfires, especially in recent times, around Lady in the Water to, I don't know, After Earth or so. His movies got really sloppy, and he kind of got sent to, what would you call it, like director's jail or something?
Purgatory.
Purgatory, where he's kind of stuck in limbo, and he hasn't really been making anything that's really explicitly an M. Night Shyamalan movie. But some people say he's back on the scene with Split.
Before you get into the summary, I don't know how you started even this whole review without mentioning Avatar: The Last Airbender as the M. Night Shyamalan movie. I mean, Shyamalan, man. He has the hardest, worst last name ever, which goes right along with Avatar. So
I guess, yeah, silly me. Forgot to mention the cinematic masterpiece that is Avatar: The Last Airbender. How could I have forgotten that one? That's a joke. Last Airbender is an awful experience. Nobody should ever watch it. So, I'm going to read the summary for Split. It says, after 3 girls are kidnapped by a man with 24 distinct personalities, they must find some of the different personalities that can help them while running away and staying alive from the others. Ryan, what did you think of Split?
I think that's a weird synopsis.
It is. Very weird.
I don't know. I actually saw a screening of this a few days ago, and then I went tonight with him and Steven. Steven has prior commitments like marriage that he couldn't be in the review with us today, but we're hot off the press with this one, and I'm not 100% sure. It's not Avatar by any means. It's not Lady in the Water. It's kind of like you said, a weird limbo of, he made some really great films and he made some really bad films, and this one kind of hits it right in the middle, leaning towards the good side. I really did like this movie, and I hesitate going into any real thoughts about it because it is an M. Night movie and he is famous for his twists. I think this is a movie that M. Night fans, specifically, his greater ones, his first ones, are going to be a fan of. And in the screening a few days ago, people at the end literally stood up and clapped. So that was a very unique experience for me. I did like it. I felt like the acting was definitely the highlight of this movie. It felt a lot like 10 Cloverfield Lane to me, for several reasons, but mainly because it is a very self-contained, not many locations. It does branch out more than 10 Cloverfield Lane does, but Anya Taylor-Joy and why am I spacing on his name?
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. This is like if you were to take Professor X when he's 90 years old and shoot him full of meth. This is the multiple personalities that you would get fighting for the light. What do you think?
So, this is a pretty conflicting movie for me. I will say I'm pretty much in the same boat as Ryan. There's a lot to like here. James McAvoy gives a really good performance in this movie. It's pretty crazy actually to see him in this. I've never seen him do something like this. And Anya Taylor-Joy was good in it. It was a well-shot movie. And I thought I had a good idea where this movie was going, for a long time. I was like, okay, it's an M. Night movie. You gotta think a little bit outside the box. I'll say I had no clue where this movie was going. By the time it got to the end, it was a head scratcher, I'll put it that way. me and Ryan kind of sat there and tried to figure out. We were pretty sure we pieced things together.
And it was my second time seeing
Yeah.
it.
What I will say is I don't want to give any spoilers or anything away, but I will say that if you go in with a previous knowledge to M. Night's filmography, then you might the experience of this movie might be enhanced for you. That being said, the last 15-20 minutes of this movie did not really work for me. There was a lot of kind of visuals that looked really goofy to me and weren't scary. There was one kind of chilling little image towards the end of the movie, but that's my biggest complaint, I think, is that I didn't find this movie scary really at all. I found it actually more funny than scary, and there were a couple parts that were just flat out freaking hilarious. I don't know if they were intending to be hilarious, but I definitely think he wanted some comedy spliced in with this. And I think overall I like this more than I didn't, but it's not up in the same caliber as Signs or The Sixth Sense. So
I think it's thinking about it now and actually talking about it on this review. The thing that didn't work for me, because like you said, I thought it was shot very well, it was acted very well. I even liked the score. I think most of the elements of filmmaking really worked in this movie. What didn't end up working is maybe just the preconceived notion of M. Night. Maybe just knowing, and I think that might be the thing that's going to make or break the movie, is if you are an M. Night fan, like a hardcore fan, you'll really like it, and that's what's going to do it for you. Whereas it didn't work for me, maybe because I'm not as big of a fan. So I think I'm going to be able to score this as 6.5. Like I said, I enjoyed it. It's a fresh movie. It's definitely one to go see, and I think it's a very good illustration of the Blumhouse model of make it for cheap and then opening weekend really bring it back in and quadruple your budget. I guarantee this movie's gonna open at $40 million. It's going to make back fourfold its budget.
Yeah, our theater was pretty full, and it seemed like the audience was enjoying the movie. I'd give this a 6 out of 10. It's also fresh. I think I'd have to think about it more, and with it, like I said, it's really hard to talk about this movie without spoilers. But there's a couple things that I want to do and kind of consider the movie a little bit more after I do those things. Really, I'm being very vague here. But and I think after that, maybe the experience will be a little bit more enhanced after doing so. So guys, thank you for checking out this review. Be sure to stay tuned. Excuse me. Be sure to stay tuned for our coverage of Sundance this weekend. Thank you so much for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at SpinnyHind.
You can follow me at Rye_Gordon on Twitter and Instagram. Like you said, follow us, subscribe so that you can get the up-to-date coverage of Sundance. We'll be covering it all this weekend and next weekend, and I'm going to do some random sporadic videos throughout the week because I will be up there all week. So stay tuned, comment, let us know if you've seen M. Night Shyamalan's newest movie. Keep it spoiler free in the comments for a little bit. Let some people watch this, but we do want to know if you are an M. Night fan, did this really work for you, or was it kind of a letdown? Is he coming back? A lot of people, maybe The Visit was the same thing. A lot of people liked The Visit. Maybe a lot of people like this, and he is stepping back into our graces. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, guys, and actually, if you are an M. Night fan, and you do kind of want to tell us if our opinion wasn't quite where you thought it should be, then go ahead and email us, cinemaholicproductions@gmail.com, because I'm really curious to hear what the consensus is for some people who are hardcore M. Night fans for this movie. Until next time, guys, bye.